Dun, 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 dun. No need to fear. House Negro Stephen A. Smith is here to rescue his zaddy. Good old House Negro Stephen A. Snitch strikes again. So here goes Stephen A. Smith sticking up for his former colleague. Instead of Stephen A. Smith checking spineless Skip Bayless, he goes and he defends him. Boy. When daddy needs you to work, he put you to work, huh? Yeah. Hey, Stephen. Hey, I need you. Hey. Say, boy, come here. Stephen, come here. Say, boy, come here. Right. One of our top employees, they're in some deep doo-doo right now. We need you to protect him as a black man. So maybe, hopefully, the other black people will hear you and will follow your lead. So you, as our number one House Negro, we need you to go on the platform, defend us. We cannot look bad to the public. Skip put us in a very sticky situation, but we need you, boy. We need you, boy. Now get on that airwave and make us look good. Let's listen to the audio of Stephen A. Smith defending Skip Bayless.
This is not about a debate. This is about humanity. This is about the life of a young man and hoping and praying that he recovers and comes back healthy. We don't care about football right now. We care about him. My heart goes out to his mother because as parents, you quickly learn that real quick, no matter what love you thought you had for another human being, there's nothing compared to the love that you have for a child. Parents understand that. Everybody understands that. And so to imagine his mother having to run down and to jump into that ambulance, wondering whether or not her son was going to make it. Because remember, we're watching on television and we're reacting to what we see the players acting like. We see Stephon Diggs crying. We see other players crying. We see the doctors coming out. We hear about the defibrillator being used, shocking him back. Because essentially, ladies and gentlemen, had they not been there, he would be gone. That's the reality of the situation. That's how serious what transpired last night is. It still is. So we pray for him and we wish him nothing but the best, and we're hoping and praying that he has a full recovery. To extend beyond that, because I've watched the coverage all morning. I've watched Get Up with Greeny and the crew doing a fabulous job. Both of you on there doing a fabulous job. What Dominique Foxworth said resonated with me profoundly. What RC, Ryan Clark said last night with Scott Van Pelt resonated very, very profoundly. Because they're speaking about the humanity of football players and how far more often than not, that is not paid attention to. Let me speak on behalf of most decent, God-fearing American citizens.
Okay.
Football players, I want to say this to the athletes in the National Football League. Part of the reason that happens is because you're so phenomenal. You're so great at what you do. You're so far above what the average person could ever imagine being able to put themselves through, to endure. That sometimes your greatness, your Iron Man tendencies, the duress, the stress, the friction, and everything else that comes with it that you put yourself through, we could never imagine not putting ourselves through. We know there's no way on earth that we would ever subject ourselves to that because we're not capable of doing it. So as a professional athlete, when you're capable of doing it, it's hard to imagine ever seeing you in a position that we see Hamlin in right now. We can't imagine it. We look at these athletes and we marvel at the greatness, not just of your skill set, your conditioning, the manner in which you take care of your body. You look at guys run routes. You look at guys run up and down the field and you're like, hell, I can't do that. You understand? You ain't even getting into the hits. You ain't even getting into the violence. Just the athleticism, the conditioning, the shape that you got to be in and do all the things that you can do. Sometimes that lends itself towards folks taking for granted your greatness. So in Dominique Foxworth's case, he's absolutely right. There are some people that need to care more. They need to heighten their level of sensitivity. They need to recognize the fact that, excuse me, there's more to this than that. You got a collective bargaining situation going on when guys are negotiating and fighting for health care. It shouldn't be a fight. You look at what's going on the field. You look at what athletes subject themselves to every single week, and you're like, what's the fight about? Excuse me, they're putting their lives on the line. And last night we witnessed it in real time. So we take all of that into consideration. And Dr. Michael Eric Dyson, who you all have heard of, who's my buddy, he always talks to me about the difference between fast mortality and slow mortality. Fast mortality is last night. Slow mortality, CTE, and various other situations that come about, and how you, as a professional athlete, have to deal with it. We all have to deal with it, but you're confronted by it in a far more volatile way than everybody else. And so I think on a day like today, a morning like today, when we sit there and we see Ryan Clark having to fight back tears, and we see the passion from the both of you, and we see Dominique Foxworth articulating and elocuting the positions of athletes, professional athletes, in a way that very, very few can. The fact of the matter is, I just want to take a moment to remind.
Here we go, right here.
Y'all that people sometimes are misinformed, they misconstrue certain things, but it ain't because it's not always.
That right there, he's talking about Skip Bayless being misinformed, misunderstood. Nah, homie. Nah, Buck Dancing, Stephen A. Smith. He said what he said. Now everybody trying to backtrack and trying to make it seem like it's not what it was. This is sad, Stephen A. Smith. This is sad, man. That you are defending someone that basically doesn't even respect a human being's life. And that human being so happens to be a black brother. But you want to protect your former coworker that always attacks black people. Oh, I forgot. You're one of them too. Oh, so you and Skip Bayless, y'all work for the same team. Y'all got the same master. Well, he might be your master now. But okay, but y'all on the same playing field. So okay, so now I see why you sticking up for spineless Bayless, because this is who he's talking about right here. This is exactly who he's talking about right here.
The matter is, I just want to take a moment to remind y'all that people sometimes are misinformed, they misconstrue certain things, but it ain't because, it's not always because of insensitivity. It's not always because they don't care.
Oh.
It's because they marvel at the greatness of you. And sometimes situations like this remind us all of a humanity we take for granted when it comes to y'all, but it's because of your greatness. It's because of what you bring to the table.
Oh, that's the reason why he tweeted that? So he tweeted, why is the game stopping? Because he was so great of a player. Because these athletes are so great. They like animals in a cage, huh? Just put them out there and just let them do what they do, right? So the reason why Skip Bayless said what he said, because he was marveling at the greatness of these players. Buck Dancing, Stephen A. Smith. Boy, you got the nerve to defend this coward, man. You got the nerve to defend this dude that consistently bashed black people. Oh, wait, you do the same thing. Makes sense why you defending him and trying to patch up his wounds. Sounds about right.
Greatness of you. And sometimes I just want to take a moment to remind y'all that people sometimes are misinformed, they misconstrue certain things, but it ain't because, it's not always because of insensitivity. It's not always because they don't care. It's because they marvel at the greatness of you. And sometimes situations like this remind us all of a humanity we take for granted when it comes to y'all, but it's because of your greatness. It's because of what you bring to the table. It's because you can do so many things that most of us on this planet could never dream of doing. That people do that sometimes. So take that into consideration and know that on a morning like this morning, we're all with Hamlin, and we're all with the NFL community, and we're all with professional athletes everywhere, because we truly understand that y'all are things we could never hope to be.
Yeah. Hopefully he has a...
Oh, man. Buck Dancing, Stephen A. Snitch. Doing what he does best. Making his daddy happy as ever. Y'all leave a comment down below and y'all let me know how y'all feel about this. Typical Stephen A. Smith. I'm not shocked. It is what it is, man. If y'all new to the channel, y'all hit that like button one time for the one time. And if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. See, like this dude right here? Hit that subscribe button. Perfect timing, right? We up out of here, y'all. Peace.